for practical combat. I'm gonna do a video here because I don't want to. I'm trying something on my Spanish channel, but I love this guy. I love his videos, even though we don't agree always toe to toe. But let me just explain something to him. This is AJ Baker. Let me see if I can pull out a few of his videos. Let me just check that out for him. Hold on one second. Sorry guys, my computer is kind of slow, but let me put it this way. Okay, this guy has a lot of good flexibility. He's very well educated. He's in Amsterdam. Let's watch out this video. Hold on one second. He's in pretty good shape. I love that. He looks big in the sense of muscle. Don't just because you see him, how can I say? Just because you don't see him with a 30 waist doesn't mean that he's not fit. He's very, very strong. Hold on one second. Let's see. Great kick, great agility. Let's see what else can we see for him. But I just want to reply to a few stuff that he's saying, because I never had the opportunity to speak to him directly. He has supported me. We have gone back and forth in a few topics. Okay, for what I see here, he's amazing at flexibility. I know that he can fight. I just haven't found a fight so far. Doesn't mean that he doesn't have it. I haven't find it. Hold on one second. Okay, hold on.
Fighting is and will always
That's
be
good technique.
all about speed. Here I'm doing 308 punches in exactly 1 minute. As you guys
That's
can see,
amazing
down right
cardio.
here,
Amazing
that is
cardio.
roughly 5.1 punches
Okay.
per second. Enjoy the rest of the video, guys.
I need to
Train
try
hard,
that. I need to
be
try that. I
hard.
used to do it when I was competing. Let me see. I like the hair though. Okay.
These videos are for members only, but if it's you in the video,
Yes, my friend Lons Cardio. We have to train together anytime. Okay, let me just clarify something that he's saying here. I haven't seen the whole video. It seems that he's inviting me to fight, but let me just clarify something for him. Hold on. Hold on.
that said, yeah, his channel is very entertaining. And how good is he? Well, Sergio is not as good as you can see us.
Okay, I agree with that.
His level is okay, but
Let me just stop for that 1 second. I agree with that. I have never said I'm the best. All I have said is I can fight, and I have. I have plenty of fights here. I have taken fights. I have spar world champions. I have spar people from the top level like Jose Caceres, Joel Romero, Marcus. I have sparred Joslandis Izquierdo. I have sparred people from, the UFC striking. I have sparred world champions from kickboxing. I can hold my own. Like I have said many times, what I like the most is self-defense. And this is what I really went into martial arts. With life and time, I understood that martial arts is not the same as self-defense. It's not the same at all. Martial arts do have a component for self-defense, but it's not self-defense, okay? That being said, what I like the most is that. However, he's saying something I agree. I have no problem with that, especially now that I'm over 40. But let's hear the following. Hold on, and I will keep hearing the list.
at the end of the day, what he's doing is kickboxing, even though he's actually called it kung fu lately. I call him
No, brother, it's not lately. Let me clarify something for you. My channel, when I started this YouTube channel back in 2014, sorry guys, I have really strong allergies. When I started back in 2014, I started with the same background that I have. My first martial art was Karate Do, Yoshimon. I currently hold a 4th-degree black belt in that martial art. I learned that in Cuba. My sensei name was Lionel. His sensei name is Jesus. He's now an immigrant here in Hialeah. He has his martial arts school. I train karate with the idea to defend myself. not to compete. So when I was in karate, I was forced to compete. When I was in karate, you had bad students, you have okay students, you have medium students, and you have the superior ones. I was always a medium student. I was not the best. I struggled a lot when I was doing the sukis. I always overreach with my shoulders. I always struggled with the kime. I was very skinny before my liver got fucked up. I was extremely skinny, underweight. When I was going to competitions, I had to put weights in my pockets just to reach the weight to fight. I was very fast. I was very powerful in my punches, more than in my kicks. Um, all that, and then later on, I went to a school in Cuba. They take you out from your house, and they put you in a school that looks more like a prison, like than a school, and you have to work on the fields like a slave, picking up potatoes, rice with a machete, like hard work from 6 a.m. until noon. And then from noon, you have like an hour to shower, eat, and pick up the stuff for the school. And then you had a school from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. After 5 p.m., I started training Kung Fu. The style I learned was Bao San. We did have a little bit of cross training with Shaolin Kung Fu and Wushu. And that's what I like the most. That's what I trained. That's what I did the most. I never trained kickboxing. I only did Bao San and karate. Only until I made it to the USA. Oh, hold on 1 second. Before that, in Cuba, I would say like around 30 fights and in karate. The karate in Cuba is not like here. It was full contact. It was with knockout. You could do the sukis and oisukis to the face. We had no protection. So our protection was just like a towel with a sponge, like the kitchen sponge for the dishes. That's what we had in our knuckles. No chin guards, no groin protection. That's all we had. And that's how we fought. And I had like 30 of those. When I learned Kung Fu, and I'm telling you that was around the year 2009. I'm sorry, the year 1999 is when I started learning Kung Fu. I was already a black belt, first degree. And then it was easier for me because I already could do the horse stance, the mabu, the archer. I already understood everything. The basic stuff was just the self-defense, the self-defense aspect of Kung Fu that got me really good. And then in Kung Fu, I did had a solutions to problems that I faced. Like I couldn't fight a boxer with karate. I couldn't fight a wrestler with karate. I couldn't fight more than one people with karate. All that came from Kung Fu. All that I learned from my Sifu Ray, which I thank him for that, and I will do always. And then I had fights outside of that, like I would say 10 to 15. Me fighting people from wrestling, fighting people from judo, fighting other karate styles, fighting, what can I say, fighting mixed martial artists, people who train a little bit of this, that, and the other. And I always hold my own. And that's what I love about Kung Fu, especially the concepts. The concept in the sense that in karate, you get into the Kibarashi Suki Centro stance and you punch and you twist the fist. And the sensei tells you twist the fist, move the hip, but at least there was no explanation behind all that. I had no explanation why we had to twist the fist and why I couldn't hit and twist later and why I don't just get the hand from here. All that information, I did not have it with karate. Keep in mind, Cuba is a communist country and we were completely isolated from everybody. No internet, barely no magazines, no TV. So we were brainwashed to love Fidel Castro and love the Cuban Revolution and all that shit. By the way, I have 5 people connected. I need you to like the video because I want this video to get to my friend A.G. Van Baker. So he doesn't agree on that. Then I made it to America back in 2006. No training. I was just working hard, going my way up, and then I started to do American Tempo with Ricky Anuso. I started to do kickboxing, not kickboxing, MMA with Manolo at American Top Team. And that's what you gotta understand. By the time I got to MMA, I already knew what a round kick was. I already knew what a side kick was. I already had all the bases. I already had fights. I had two MMA fights, amateur. They ended up pretty quickly. But then going into the topic, and everybody can see it, I am not a kickboxer, brother. You got to understand that most of the stuff that you get from karate, they coming away from kung fu, and most of the stuff you get from kickboxing, they come from kung fu. Even, and let me see if I can pull it out here. Even my student, Robin Winter, and at the same time coach, we did an exchange. I told Robin, hey brother, show me practical combat martial art. Hold on. Practical combat martial arts. Hold on one second, guys. Show me Muay Thai, and I show you Kung Fu. And up until that point, I didn't know any Muay Thai. It was just a basic striking from MMA. And funny story, in the competition, this competition, let me show you. Robin fought this guy from Muay Thai, and that's where I really met Crew Dave, my Muay Thai coach. Hold on one second. Let me show you. I love this fight. So this is Robin, and this is Josh. I had the pleasure to train with Josh and spar with Josh. Great guy, great fighter. Josh right now has multiple business. He's killing it. He's doing well. And let me see if I can show you. Hold on. Nothing of that is kickboxing. All that I learned from Kung Fu. That's a reverse kick. Let me keep showing you guys. Hold on one second. This is Milton. Milton has trained me as well. I miss this event so much. This is behind is the sensei from Paladin MMA. Started there. I'm putting eyes. We had to go to another round. Let me see if I see Crew Dave here. Hold on. This is Manny. Hold on. That's one of the best days of my life. So, that being said, and I should feel flattered, I don't know as much kickboxing. The kickboxing I know comes from me modifying the kung fu stuff I know. And if you look at my fights, some of them, the way I kick, they don't really come from Muay Thai. I do struggle a lot. To do the Muay Thai round kick, like a lot. Like I do have to really put my mind into it. I do have to put an effort on it. If you see here, Robin does pure Muay Thai, and I do Kung Fu. This is a sparring that we had, that we went super hard that day. Check it out. Hold on. You see that spinning back kick, that spinning jumping back kick, and the back face, that all comes from Kung Fu. So see the way that Robin kicks and the way I block, that's not from Muay Thai. At that time, I didn't even know how to check kicks properly. Look, I'm struggling with checking kicks. Not now. I did the scorpion tail sweep. Just showing you a little bit. Maybe you don't know as much of me as you thought, or in general about martial arts. Hold on. You see Robin is trying my side kick there. Okay. And that's when we struggle. Boom. Hold on. We keep fighting. Boom. Having fun. You see, I don't know how to check kicks, especially at that time. What I was doing there is put the weight on my rear leg and let the front leg loose. So when he kicked me, use that towards my advantage. You see how I did a hook kick to him? Like I baited him. Look now. I give him my leg, boom, and that's a hook kick. Let me do it again. Let me go back to show you. Hold on. Hold on. Boom. You see, I at that point, this was back in this was 10 years ago, 2015. I didn't know how to check kicks here. And he's telling me, put the leg down, put the leg firm. Hold on. You see, that's a Yagosuki from karate. That's a snap kick from